Hello, BitQueens. Welcome to our usual Sunday session. It's such a delight to be here. You know, every Sunday how we roll, we hold sessions where we learn about blockchain technology, about cryptocurrencies, and how we can utilize the knowledge to empower ourselves and, of course, empower other people around us. So you're welcome to BitQueens, and you're on to one of such sessions where we talk about the opportunities within the blockchain space. If you've been following the conversation, you will know we've been on our tokenization journey for some weeks now. In our last session, we looked at career opportunities for women in tokenization. And today, we're continuing that conversation on career opportunities for women in tokenization. So you're welcome to another great session. Please feel free to go to the chat. How has been your week and how has been your day? What are your expectations for today's session? Please go there and share all that wonderful feedback with us. So without wasting any more time, I'll just go straight and load up my screen so that we get started with our conversation for today. So welcome, ladies. It's been an awesome week for us here at the BitQueens team, and we hope you also had a great time in the past week, and we're looking forward to an amazing new week. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. If you can see my screen, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the comments. Yes. Thank you so much for your feedback. So like we said, we're going to be continuing our conversation on career opportunities for women in tokenization. Last session, we looked at a number of career opportunities or career paths that women could take in transitioning into the tokenization space. And it was indeed an amazing session. In case you missed, feel free to go to our YouTube channel to watch that. We looked at 5 career paths, and today we're going to be continuing with that to give you more information and, of course, to expand your knowledge about the different career paths and the opportunities that are available within those career paths. So let's get right into it. In case you're just joining for the first time or you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Christy Emmanuel. I'm a blockchain educator for women and the founder of BitQueens. So BitQueens is a community that is helping women learn about blockchain technology, learn about cryptocurrencies, about Web3 in a simple and fun way, and how they can leverage the understanding that they have, the knowledge they've gotten, the tools they've acquired to empower themselves with it, so that you feel supported, you feel confident and excited to begin to explore the endless opportunities that are available in the blockchain space. One of such opportunities is what we've been discussing in the past weeks, which is tokenization of real-world assets. And today, like I said, we're looking at career opportunities for women in the space. This is part 2. Once we are done with that, we're going to interact. So if you have any questions while this is going on, or you have any thoughts, please feel free to share them in the chats. They will all be responded to before we end our session. So like we said, the tokenization space is really expanding, is evolving. It's been one of the hottest topics in the blockchain space in the past 2 to 3 years. And so holds huge opportunities, especially for women, seeing that that space is looking for professionals, people who have the skills to take on the different career paths that are emanating as a result of the expansion of the space. So women have the opportunity to leverage their already existing skills. It doesn't mean that you have to start learning everything all over again. So if you have a legal background or you have skills in coding and programming, social media and things like that, there is an opportunity for you within the tokenization space, meaning that you can actually transition with the skills you already have into this space and begin to make impacts. Not to also mention that the income or the remuneration within this space is quite competitive, meaning that it's not just like peanuts or the meager remuneration that women get for all the efforts that it puts in. This is an evolving space and hold within it huge value that compensate women well for the efforts that they put in. So this is an opportunity for you to fully expand yourself, to fully express yourself and the skills that you have, and also earn for the value that you're putting in. But again, it doesn't mean that you have to have all those skills, right? Whatever skills you have, you can look for areas of the tokenization space you can transition to, or you can even acquire these skills, right? You can learn the skills. It is not compulsory that you must have existing skills to be able to play in the tokenization space. So whether you already have previous skills from your current job or if you don't have any of the skills, you can also learn and transition to the tokenization space. So today we're going to be looking at a number of career paths. We looked about 5 of them last Sunday, and we're going to be continuing this Sunday. So the first on our list is a tokenization consultant or expert. Who is a tokenization consultant or expert? So such a person is somebody who has deep understanding about blockchain technology, somebody who understands tokenization of real-world assets, to understand the trends, understand the practices within the tokenization space. So that's who a tokenization expert is, right? So the person has to have the ability to develop business models or business strategies within the tokenization space. Like I said, tokenization is the bringing of real businesses, real world assets onto the blockchain. And for businesses to expand or for them to bring value, there has to be strategies that needs to be put in place. So somebody who is a tokenization expert is someone who understands how these things work and are able to leverage all those strategies to bring them onto the tokenization space so that the business owners or the companies can leverage those strategies to expand their business on the blockchain space. And of course, the investors who are also going to be bringing in their funds, who are going to be participating in the ownership of these real world assets, will also earn for their participation. Of course, the technical aspect of creating tokens, because tokenization is about breaking the ownership of assets into tokens, right? And these tokens have to be created that represent part ownership or fractional ownership of these real world assets. So a tokenization expert has to have a thorough understanding of how these tokens can be created and managed, how they can be listed on different exchanges for people to be able to buy, hold, and trade them and all that. A tokenization expert also has to have understanding of the legal framework of the particular assets being tokenized, or even the legal framework of the jurisdiction in which that asset resides. For instance, real estate or an airport, which are different assets that could be tokenized. So being a tokenization expert, these are the skills that you require to build such portfolio. And it just takes, commitment to learning, willingness to keep yourself abreast of what's happening in the industry and keep developing yourself as it were. So let's look at the next, which is cybersecurity expert. This is somebody whose role will be to protect tokenization platforms from threats or bad actors, ensuring that those who are participating in these tokenization projects within a certain platform are secure, their digital assets are secure. So what are the skills that such a person will need to have? First, the person has to have a strong background in IT security practices. So, of course, we know that there are bad actors over the internet, and this is digital business, as it were, or digital form of ownership. Everything is done on the internet. So such a person has to have a strong background of how IT security practices works and how to provide security for the network infrastructure on which these platforms will be built. Because we don't want a situation where people are losing their digital assets because the platform on which these tokenization activities are going on or the projects are happening are not secured enough, or their accounts are being hacked, their wallets are being hacked, and things like that. So a security expert within the tokenization space has to have a thorough knowledge of how the network infrastructure is, how it works, and how to provide protection for users, and of course, ability to respond to and mitigate any cyber attacks or security issues that may arise. So this is a very well sought after aspect that tokenization projects, tokenization companies and businesses are looking for. So if you have skills in cybersecurity, you understand how internet security works and all that, there is an opportunity for you within the tokenization space, because you can transfer that skill you already have, onto this space and keep providing useful value, of course, solution and creating impact within the tokenization space, right? So let's talk about community management. So this is one aspect of the tokenization project that is really very key. Because when you talk about tokenization projects or tokenization as it were, it's about letting people learn about the different solutions that these tokenization companies are providing and how they can participate in the ownership of these real world assets. And for that reason, there is need for somebody who understands how community management works, because at the end of the day, these projects thrive on communities. The project owners try to build communities around the solution they are providing, and for that reason are able to expand their reach and to have more people see the solution they're providing, and of course, participate in those solutions. So somebody who is a community manager engages with and grows the community around this tokenization project, also communicating all the company represents correctly to the public, and also get feedback to the company from the users or the investors. So a person who is a community manager has to have strong communication skills to be able to use different social media platforms, since we're in the digital era and this business happens online or digitally as it were, to communicate the values, communicate the solution that the company through the tokenization projects are bringing to the marketplace, and of course, how the users or the investors can participate. Of course, such a person should be able to build strong relationships. Quite an important skill. And guess what? It's such a skill that anyone can acquire. Women generally are managers. They have managerial skills. They, have the ability to put people together, to communicate in a way that is simple, in a way that is engaging, in a way that is motivating. So women already have an edge when it comes to building communities or managing communities. And so it's an opportunity to take advantage of all the skills that they already have and bring it into this space. Okay, so that's about community management. And then entrepreneurs. We can have women who are entrepreneurs, right? So women entrepreneurs can establish their own tokenization startups or consulting firms to create unique tokenization services that are not already available. Because tokenization is about creating solutions in a way that allows others participate in those solutions that have been created. And so women can create such opportunities within the tokenization space, maybe create a firm where companies can come to get understanding of how business works and how they can leverage those strategies to expand their own tokenization projects. So women entrepreneurs who are already doing business can now transition with their skills into the tokenization space, and of course, develop new business models, services within the space, and of course, provide leadership. So the skills that women would need as entrepreneurs will be also leadership skills. They would also have networking skills and of course, risk management skills, since the space is still evolving. And of course, there are risks in doing business in the digital space. And so women are able to understand this risk and of course, explain that to the clients or the firms that they're consulting for. Having been in the business space, for instance, of course, we have women who are in the real estate, aviation, who are in entertainment, who are in different real businesses out there. So they can already leverage all those experiences and the risks that they encounter and provide strategies for mitigating those risks while advising firms or companies who are looking to bring their businesses onto the tokenization space. And the last on the list is educator. So a woman who is an educator within the tokenization space has as her role the ability to teach the concepts or idea behind asset tokenization and blockchain technology, either in the public space or within companies. So you could be a communicator or an educator, just like we here are doing at the BitQueens team, to share enlightenment, to let people know more about asset tokenization, about blockchain technology, and how companies or organizations can leverage that to expand their own businesses. And the skills that you should have as an educator is experience in teaching and training in such a way that complex concepts are broken down. Of course, your ability to deliver engaging and interactive training sessions. It could be live sessions, it could be online sessions, using different tools, using different methods in a way that the target audience will understand. Also, have understanding of the regulatory environment surrounding the digital asset, because you need to educate the investors or educate the company owners or the business owners who are looking to bring their business onto the blockchain about regulation around that particular digital asset or the jurisdiction in which that asset is situated. So these are different career paths that women can follow when it comes to asset tokenization. So this brings our conversation to about 10 different career paths that we've discussed. Remember, all these are opportunities for women to begin to bring the skills that they already have into the tokenization space, to leverage that, to create impact, and of course, to earn also for the value they are bringing to the marketplace. So with that said, we come to the end of today's conversation. We talked about career opportunities for women in tokenization, and we looked at the different opportunities that women can leverage and how that can impact them greatly in terms of the income that they earn and in terms of the value that they bring to the tokenization space. So thank you for joining us in today's session. If you're listening to us and you're not already part of our community, what are you waiting for? Please feel free to write us at bitqueenshq@gmail.com, and we'll give you all information that you need to be part of our community. And if you're watching this live on YouTube, please feel free to leave us a comment and we will respond to you on all you need to be part of our community. Right. We are also looking for interns. So if you have skills as a community manager or content creator, video editor, graphics designer, or your social media strategist, we require your input in expanding the BitQueens team. So write us at bitqueenshq@gmail.com, and we'll give you all the information you need to be part of the BitQueens team. Follow us on all our social media platforms if you've not already done so. We are across social media at BitQueens. And if you require any information, you want to make any inquiries, please feel free to write us again at bitqueenshq@gmail.com, and we'll provide you with all information. But by all means, follow us on all our social media platforms. Turn on all notifications so that you get to know when we drop useful, informative, insightful, educative content such as this. Thank you for staying with us up until now. It's time now to get your feedback on our conversation for today. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. Thank you, Ruka, for joining for today's session. It's been an excellent time here. If you have any questions, please feel free. And if you don't, yes, you can also share an experience, or if you have any questions beyond this session, you can ask that in our community. Let's continue that conversation. Let's keep the momentum going. Okay, so if there are no questions, thank you very much, everyone who joined for today's session. We talked about career opportunities for women in tokenization. This is a follow-up session on the previous session we had last Sunday on career opportunities for women, how women can leverage tokenization to pursue careers and, of course, earn remuneration commensurate with the efforts and skills that they bring to the table. I tell you what, the tokenization space is such a huge one, and we're happy to keep expanding our knowledge, keep expanding the conversation on tokenization of real-world assets, the solutions and the value that it brings, and how you too, as a woman, can participate. In our subsequent session, we're going to be looking at risk management skills or strategies to navigate the tokenization space safely. So stay tuned. That promises to be very insightful, informative, and educative, and you don't want to miss that. So until we come your way again next Sunday, I'm Christy Manuel, and it was my pleasure to bring this on behalf of the BitQueens team. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you again next session. Bye for now.